Hello and welcome to Glanny Gores in Northern Wales for round 4 of the Daytona DMAX Championships for 2018. Our Inter-Heats Championship has been a titanic scrap so far between Bobby Trundley and Chris Alcock, who've traded the lead several times so far this season. Bobby's looking in good form so far, with Chris Alcock doing a great job in Heat 1 as well, but don't count some of our other drivers in this class. Any one of, I reckon, 7 drivers could win here today. Chris Hackworth, for example, can he turn his season around and start to challenge for honours again in the Inters? Mike Coppin and Owen Jenman have had some great scraps so far today as well. Let's get on to the final and see who wins round 4 of the Inter Heats.
Into our final then for the 2018 DMAX Inter Heats, round 4 of the championship from Glanny Gores. A very close championship so far this season, and on pole position is Bobby Trundley for this final. Once again, alongside him on that front row is his big championship rival Chris Alcock. Jordan Taylor and Mike Coppin start from row 2, and then it's Chris Hackworth and Andy Spencer who won Heat 1 on row 3. Owen Jenman and Richard Lacey start on row 4. Joe Ellis and Mark Gillibrand start from row 5. Dave Longman and James Cook start on row 6. James Browning and Stephen Gillibrand start on row 7. Andy Stobart and Jonathan Burton start on row 8. Then it's Mel Howell and Lee Carey on row 9. Stuart Shearman and Chris Kirk start from row 10. Nathan Fearon and Joe Thornton form out the 22 kart grid on row 11. Well, DJ, we've just seen an absolutely pulsating and at times controversial lights heats final. What do you think we've got to come here in the Inters?
Well, hopefully it's not exactly the same. I'd like it to be just as exciting, but hopefully we don't see any major incidents at the beginning or at the end of the race. So hopefully everyone gets round.
Well, here we go then. Eyes on the flag. It's yellow, it's green. We're racing at Glanny Gores for the final time in the Inters today. What a start by Bobby Trundley, straight out ahead. He has a little look over the shoulder and goes, where's everybody else? Well, they're behind you, Bobby. Second place then takes Chris Alcock. Mike Coppin already up to third as well. He's due a podium. He really wants one. He's been racing well here today. Can he do it? Can this be his day? But down into the carousel they go for the first time. Bobby Trundley leads. Chris Alcock second. Mike Coppin is third. Jordan Taylor now in fourth. It is this top 7 that we talked about before, and there's a battle going on for second place as well, as Coppin under a lot of pressure. Coppin's got past Alcock. Coppin past Alcock now. Well, this is a really good chance for Mike Coppin to get a podium. He's now got to hunt down Bobby Trundley. We mentioned earlier, been good in the prelim heats. Not quite got it together in the finals, but here he is, second place, and he is pulling away. He's pulling away from Chris Alcock at this stage of the race. Hackworth's lost 2 positions there through the carousel.
Richard Lacey.
There's contact. Hackworth's off, and he's been tipped into a spin, and he's off on the outside of compression corner. Oh dear, Chris, I don't think we're going to get out of there, son, because that. Oh no, he is. Well done. He's got it back out and got running again. Up over the hill. If he could get that done, that would be remarkable. They're side by side round Spoon corner. Coming off Spoon now through the right-hander, and Lacey holds on to it for now, but he looks a little bit vulnerable to me up the big straights. Dave Longman's in there as well, coming off carousel now. Dave Longman trying to cut to the inside to make a move on Joe Ellis. Doesn't work that time, but this is a great 3-way scrap over 7th place.
Excellent battle. All 3 of those drivers being very respectful, keeping the track limits and the contact down. So very good to see as they come around the final corner now and across the line.
Now let's see, will Ellis get the run on Lacey as they get? And Lacey goes immediately defensive. I don't think he actually needs to.
I think that slowed him down slightly, yeah.
He got a good run through turn 1. Dave Longman trying to go the long way round the outside of Joe Ellis. Doesn't work that time. Downhill once again into carousel. Ellis has a little look up the inside of Lacey. Nearly gets a bit of an overlap. Down into the carousel, and yes, he is. He's going for the move. Longman, can he make the move stick for 8th place? Yes, he can. That was bold down the inside, not being intimidated by Joe Ellis at all. A great move by Dave Longman for 8th. Mike Coppin under attack from Chris Alcock. He was a little bit wide through turn 1. Coppin has had to go defensive. Can Alcock put the pressure on, make the moves through Spoon Corner. No, Coppin defends really, really well, keeping to the inside of the circuit, tearing down to Carousel now. This is nervy, nervy stuff. Any one of these 5 drivers could end on the podium, given some of the racing and the incidents that we've seen here at GYG today. Here comes Bobby Trundley out of Devil's Elbow into the final corner. Bobby Trundley makes it 4 wins in a row in the Interheats. And across the line, Mike Coppin takes 2nd place. Chris Alcock is 3rd in what was a fantastic duel between the two of them. 4th place for Jordan Taylor. 5th for Andy Spencer. 6th for Owen Genman. Oh, and there's a problem towards the end, and it looks like Richard Lacey has lost positions. Dave Longman has took 7th place, Joe Ellis in 8th, Steve Gillibrand in 9th, Richard Lacey in the end is 10th, 11th for Mark Gillibrand, 12th for Jonathan Purton, 13th for James Cook, 14th for Andy Stobart, 15th James Browning, 16th for Chris Kirk, 17th for Stuart Shearman, 18th for Melanie Howell, 19th for Lee Carey, 20th for Joe Thornton, 21st for Chris Hackworth, not a good day for him, and 22nd for Nathan Fearon.
On the podium, yet again, Chris Alcock. 3rd place today, really good scrap with not just Mike ahead of you, but the guys behind as well. Talk me through that kind of 5-6-way battle throughout the whole of that race.
Like you said, it was a good race. We're all very evenly matched. It was a tiring race. Obviously, I would have liked to have been further up. Bobby had a cracking start, and then it was just the rest of us. We've been separated by half-tenths the whole way through the day, even in the Enduro this morning. So to get a podium out of it is good. It's good for the nice trophy, not the biggest one, but it's good for the championship. I think that still sees me 2nd overall, gapping 3rd again, but Bobby's put a few more points on me. So head down and off to Buckmore Park for the next one. Hopefully I can replicate what happened last year. Good
run there last year. Glannygores, let's just talk Glannygores before we go. How have you found the circuit today as your first time here?
Loved Glannygores. It's the weather, whoever booked the weather, well done, thank you very much. But yeah, the track is fantastic. I think most, if not all people have said, yes, they really enjoyed it here. I'm definitely one of those. I like it here. It's gone well. I mean, obviously I'm going to be biased anyway, but I think everyone has enjoyed their day here. Thank you, obviously, for the staff and Daytona for coming out this far. I know it's a bit of a gamble and a long way for us to come, but I think it's paid off and I'd like to come back next year.
Absolutely. I'd like to come back next year as well. Thank you, Chris.
Cheers, thank you.
Kind words. Mike Coppin, 2nd. Finally, we get a talk at the end of the day on a podium. You must be really, really pleased with how today's gone.
Yeah, I needed a good result. It's I think coming into today I was 4th in the Heats Championship, and if I hadn't have had a decent result today, I was going to start dropping off the pace of the front 3. So I needed a little bit of, for want of a better word, aggro between the top 3, which hopefully would open the door for me to come back through towards the front of the championship again. As Chris said, Bobby's put points on us for this round, but I think that's gained me points possibly on Chris, although it's probably nip and tuck, but certainly on Hackworth. So it's all to play for. Buckmore's one of my favourite tracks. I've raced around there quite a few times, so I'm confident going into the next round, so we'll see.
Absolutely. I remember you running really, really well at Buckmore last year. Going further ahead as well, Buckmore's a good one. Any other good ones that you're looking forward to coming up?
I've never been to Ella, but I love the look of Ella. I think it'll be a good track to go to. I quite like Clay as well, so I'm hoping that we'll have a good run towards the end of the season. But it was this time last year that my championship really got going. I struggled at the start, and it was 4, 5 and 6 onwards that my championship started picking up a bit of pace, so I'm hoping that it will be the same again. So, but again, as Chris said, I'd like to thank the Daytona team and track marshals and GYG for letting us come up here, because it's a beautiful place, and it's, as Chris said, it's a gamble for us to come all the way up here, and so to come up and have a good result, have good racing. I think again the Inters class has really given some good racing today, so it's been a good day. Yeah,
good stuff. Can't agree more. We'll see you at Buckmore Park. Well done once again, Mike. With the winner, Bobby Trundley, 4 wins in a row and 3 really solid heats today, unless you're going to tell me otherwise, like we've had this last chat at Rye House. A further extended championship lead. I know you're not going to want to talk about championship right now, but how happy are you feeling of your efforts here at GYG today?
I'm feeling great. I mean, this track is fantastic. The credit to GYG and Daytona for coming down here. GYG letting us come down here is fantastic. Racing, great racing throughout. Apple 1, 2, 3, let's not forget. So everyone's happy and we're happy. It's just been a fantastic day. Loved it.
Buckmore Park next. A favourite of yours?
It's where I grew up karting, actually, Buckmore Park. So I know it's weird that I grew up in about 70 miles away, but that's where I properly started karting. So Buckmore Park's got a history to me, and hopefully we'll see what happens. But like I said, great racing throughout. Thanks, Daytona. Thanks, GYG, for letting us come down here.
Absolutely. Ominous news for the opposition. We have, of course, go to Buckmore Park next. We're going to bring DJ in. Inter's, I hate to sound biased, but they are my favourite class this year because it is so close. And we saw that today. The top 7 all absolutely on it, pushing flat out. Any one of those 7 could have been on the podium today. What did you make of it?
Well, definitely. I mean, as you said, such close racing. Really brilliant to see. Good, clean racing at some points. I probably have to say it's probably the cleanest class as well. I agree, yeah. So, yeah, to see a top podium like that with Bobby Trundley and the rest, you know, really good to see.
We're off to Chatham next, Buckmore Park, for round 5 of the Daytona DMAX Heats Championship. If you want to be on the grid, the details are on the screen. Get booked in, www.daytonamax.co.uk.